TP3 for showing up today. Johnny football's a boss for me.
How much money you got? How much money you got? How much money you got?
Before this episode started, and we're just absolutely doing shot after shot. None of this makes any sense.
How many lawyers you got? How many times you got shot? How many niggas you shot? How many times did you ride? How many niggas that died? How many times did you cheat? How many times did you lie? How many times did she leave? How many times did she cry? How many chances she done gave you? Fuck around with these thoughts. Every day that I'm alive, I'ma ride with this stick. I'd rather be broke in jail than be dead and rich. Told my brothers take my breath if I turn to a snitch. But I'm 21 for L, ain't no way I'ma switch.
And we're live. We're live. Locks live stream episode 28, almost to 30. Obviously we just celebrated a little bit ago. So bet scoop episode 100, and I'm looking forward to my 100th episode. And I know a guy that will be there with me is this guy right here when that happens. This is Gutsypickscash. If you guys do not know him, Guts, my man. A pleasure on this Wednesday. A pleasure.
Great
on this
handshake.
Wednesday,
What's up, fellas? Boys are rolling
There's
in.
Larry.
Shout out to everybody that's rolling in. Shout out Larry. Shout out McKess. Shout out Gelfor. I'm doing all right. People would normally think that I'm doing bad. Was I down in the dumps? Yeah, I was down in the dumps. Do I feel better now? I feel better because I know that we're fine. We had one bad loss. I'm not turning this into a Dolphins chat, but
no.
We're just fine. And I'll tell you right now, I'm amped up to talk about the UFC later today.
Amped up to talk about the UFC. I'll tell you what. And we've obviously talked about a lot of the Dolphins here and there on these kind of shows.
Sure.
And it was not good to be a Dolphins fan, especially, what was it, on Monday night, right? Monday night, a bad loss. Some would say one of the worst losses. Up by 14 points, 3 minutes left. I believe it was something 700 or 0-700, something for teams that had been up by 14 with less than 3 minutes left. It does suck, but I'll tell you what, Guts.
Allegedly.
To brighten your mood a little bit.
Sure.
The AFC is wide open, and the Dolphins are still right at the top.
Oh, yeah,
so I wouldn't feel bad at all. I'll tell you what. Now, we can talk about my quarterback for 1 second. My quarterback, JB, not Joey Burr, but Jake Browning, who is an absolute stud. And I was at the game against the Colts. He is an absolute animal. I mean, this guy, he can sling it everywhere, dude, and he is mobile, and it makes our offense 10 times better with him in it. And I love what Jake Browning is doing. Hopefully we can maybe make a playoff push. I doubt it, but the Dolphins do look good. And I don't hate that. This is a very special episode today, fellas. We got UFC 296 this weekend. It is in Vegas. The headliner is obviously Leon Edwards versus Colby Chaos Covington this weekend. That's the main event on Saturday. We got a special guest today jumping on the show, which is going to be so fire. Our guy, HayJivePicks, will be on the show here in just a little bit. We're going to go over some quick stuff first, and then he'll jump on the show and give us the analysis and all that good stuff. Lloyd, let me say something. Larry, what do you possibly have to say? What do you possibly have to say on this Wednesday? Shout out Z-Rob. What up, boys? How we doing? What up, Gizzards Kev? What's good to see you, my man. Look, I'm not going to like Guts. I do kind of want to talk about one thing that we had happen to us last night.
What?
Well, you had a winning day yesterday, no?
No.
No.
A 5-day winning streak came to an end yesterday.
Yeah, it came to an end, actually. And I had a losing day as well because of one of Gutsy's picks. Now, this is what happens.
We're talking about the Lightning over the fraudulent Canucks. I'm not even going to get into this.
I talk about this because this is what happens when you live in the same house with Guts, right?
I love your fit.
When you live in the same house with Guts, right? And all you do all day is talk about sports all day, right? And so I got my plays. Guts has his plays, right? I go 3-1 in college basketball yesterday. Big time, 2-unit winning day. It was great. We got 2 more plays, and I will get those to you guys at the end of the show. Now, one of the late night sweats said, Gus, what's the play? Lightning, plus 110. We fade the Canucks at all costs, especially at plus chicken. I said, okay, great. Gus, we never had a chance. We never had a chance.
Lightning are dead. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to answer any questions.
You keep fading
because
the Canucks.
Winners look forward.
Winners
don't look backwards. I don't even remember yesterday. Was yesterday losing day? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well,
beats me.
Today's all that matters.
Yeah.
We move to today.
That's what I do.
Shout out HayJive. He's ready. Jive, we'll get you in here in 1 second. A couple things that we do want to talk about in the sports world before we get going. had breaking news, obviously, last week. I haven't been able to talk about this, but it happened as I was on my way to my girlfriend's Christmas party. I was in the car and proceeded to explain to her for the next 30 minutes about how big this deal was. Shohei Ohtani is a fucking doyer. And it's unbelievable. It was crazy because all of the reports that had come out previously the day before had him pretty much locked, sealed, and done, signed, delivered to be a Blue Jay. And being playing in Toronto, he's going to move halfway across the fucking country. And he was going to play baseball there. Now, that's just simply not what happened. Driving on the way to my girlfriend's Christmas party, get a notification, immediately call my dad, Shohei Ohtani to the Dodgers, 10 years, $700 million. Now, the deal itself is a little bit weird. I don't necessarily know all about it, to be 100% honest with you. So I'm actually going to let Gutsy kind of dissect this thing for us. I think he knows a little bit more about it than I do. But he's somehow not getting paid like all of it right away, or obviously over the course of the 10 years, how it will be split up. Go ahead, Bryce. Yeah.
I actually have a video that explains it pretty well.
Please. Oh, please. Run the tape.
Video?
I would love to run the tape.
Video?
Now,
what kind of producer? Okay.
Now, this is the first time ever that
this production value is going
it's going up.
And
Shout
up
out.
and up.
Shout, in the chat, can I get a W? Can I get W?
Well,
W producer Bryce.
We haven't seen the video.
W producer Bryce in the chat.
The video could just not work, so no W's yet. But I do want to point out that West by God, I was on the ones and twos for a week while Bryce was out of town, and I don't appreciate you agenda chasing, agenda pushing. Bryce just being, I mean, my camera work was unbelievable that week. I never got one compliment. Go on, Bryce. Let's play this video.
Oh, please, I would love.
West by God has an agenda, and I'm just calling it out.
West by God always has an agenda. That's what West by God does.
Yeah, this
Ohtani deal was beautiful. He signed a 10-year contract for $700 million. On paper. We got him to defer $680 million until the contract is over. This way, we'd only be on the books for $2 million a year. Then we told him, with our contacts in this market, he'd make more than his deferred salary in endorsements alone. Meanwhile, we'd have $68 million free to sign more players. And when it comes time to pay Ohtani the rest of his contract in 2034, sell the team. Major League Baseball sent 2 lawyers down to review our files. So I set them up in our conference room and I had it bugged. And the air conditioner turned up so high that it felt like fucking Antarctica.
Look, I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely fucking not.
That is gold.
Was actually
that is
unbelievable.
Gold. I actually want the Dubs in the chat now. Bring them in.
No,
the Dubs in the chat.
W's.
Yeah, get the Dubs in the chat.
That deserves W's if I've ever seen it.
That was awesome. My first question: how the hell did you get that video? And
where did you find that? That was a great video.
So funny.
Well, who cares? Actually, the production value of this of the whole company, we've just gone to the next level.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We got videos now.
That was class.
That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. I'll tell you who would love that. Carly would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so good. Oh, okay. So that actually did explain it pretty well. So deferred $680 million to receive. I don't honestly know when, to be honest with you. So he's making $20 million over the course of the 10 years. Am I correct? Can anybody tell me here if I'm hitting the spot? If I'm hot or cold?
He's basically going to be making $2 million a year for the next 10 years. Then he's going to move to fucking Japan or fucking Florida or wherever the fuck he's going to go. And then he's going to get paid the whole fucking $700 million on whatever taxes he moves to, and it won't be taxed like it will be in California normally.
Right, but so it's just literally a lump sum of money that he will get.
Yes, it's essentially what the NFL does, except the NFL does it right away. So if you have a $700 million contract, they're like, hey, we're going to just pay you $500 million of it right now.
Right.
So that way we can open up some cap space and go sign X.
Right. Well, and we've seen that with many guys have done that. I've seen that.
It's fucking incredible, though. I'll tell you right now, it is fucking incredible. But I will say,
bro, do you think
the Dodgers should have paid him $1 billion.
Yeah, well, you've said this for a long time.
He should have been paid $1 billion. There's no athlete ever besides maybe like Conor McGregor for a little bit there.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
he was
McGregor.
worth $1 billion. What the hell is this?
Okay, so Dodgers players ranked by expected salary. Mookie, Freddie obviously should be 1 and 2. Wow, Monkey's
with the
not
deferred.
3.
This is with deferred.
This is after deferred.
He's 17th ranked.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay,
so
that
makes sense.
That makes sense. And I will say, you know what they're going to go do now, right? They're going to go get that fucking pitcher from Japan who's coming over to the MLB. By the way,
who is that?
The only reason I know anything about this cat is because we would watch Trevor Bauer's vlogs.
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer would just keep talking, would only talk about this guy. How insane. The guy was the best pitcher over in Japan the past year. He won the
reincarnate Rocky Sasaki or what?
Guy is insane. And he pitches complete games all the time. I know it's more normal in Japan.
But he does it over there in Japan. Is he Shohei's cousin? Is he related to Shohei? Because then it's a locked deal done, signed, delivered. I mean, this guy is Shohei's cousin, is what Westby got saying. It's a win-win for him and the Dodgers. The amount of money the Dodgers will make, interest is at least $1 billion. Yeah, I mean, I would actually agree with that. Okay, against high schools. That's a great point, Wes. See, I don't know a lot about this guy's coming over.
Yeah.
But you're saying now the fact that he deferred all this money,
yes,
means that they still have the ability to go out there and get other pieces and get who they want, and then just pay him the lump sum literally later. Say, fuck it, we don't care about it. We'll pay you later.
Essentially.
And now they at least have cash space and room. Obviously, it's no cap in baseball, but you can still, they have money and fluid funds to be able to pay somebody else.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. It's very interesting. By the way, did you see him? Well, I guess I have two questions. One, do you think this is what Shohei wanted to do? Like, do you think that was this up to him if he wanted to defer the money, or did the Dodgers come to him and be like, look, we can set you up pretty crispy?
I bet it was
in the future, if you just do this now for us, then we can set you up pretty later. Or is Shohei just like coming to them, okay, I don't need this money right now. I don't care. I just hit fucking nukes and pitch literally no hitters every single day that I wake up. Yeah. Does it not matter to him? Or did you think that it was something that he wanted to do?
I think it was his agent was like, look, if we take this deal right now, it's $700 million, but it's actually like $300 million.
Right.
But if we fucking kick can down the road,
it can really
go back to Japan. I don't know what the taxes are like in Japan, but they're probably not as bad as California.
They can't be that high, right?
Imagine getting paid $7 million in fucking Japan with their taxes. It's probably a lot better. So that's just what I think probably 100%. Fucking happened.
I mean, at least $500 million, but a lot of more money. Okay, so it's just a play to make more money.
What the hell is West by God talking about against high schoolers? That's what. Whoa! What did I say? Whoa! What's West by God putting words in my mouth? Bryce, help me out here. What's going on? Bryce?
I don't know.
Do we have a Bryce cam? What the hell is that camera?
I added a camera.
We have a Bryce
Where the fuck did that camera come from?
Whoa, okay. I did not know there's no camera here.
The production value of this entire company.
Okay. All right, hold on.
We have a fourth camera out of nowhere.
You didn't plan on telling us this?
I found this camera.
Where did that come from?
I found this camera in the back closet. It's like our camera that we bring out to places.
Cam what?
It turns off after 30 minutes, so I only have 30 minutes of time.
Okay. West by God, we have 4 cams now. Make sure you write that down so you can go to cam 4 if you want.
Yeah,
we have 1.
That's right.
Wow. Okay, incredible. Yeah. Sorry, that threw me off.
Just so West by God, actually, just so you get it straight. This is cam 1. This is 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, perfect. No, 100%.
No, you gotta love the production. Shout out of this set right now.
Shout out us.
You have to love this. Anyway, my last question is: Do you think that the Dodgers now have the best chance to win a World Series? And do you think that Shohei? I didn't see him going to the Dodgers, but I really didn't.
Well,
this is how I imagine in my mind that it happened, and we'll wrap this up. Is that because the Blue Jays thing was like signed and done, right? So then obviously the Dodgers were like, okay, you offered him how much? Like $500 million? Okay, cool. We'll say 10 years, $700 million. Make the phone call right now. And Shohei's like, okay, bet I'll go play in LA. I have to move fucking 20 minutes. Sure. Do you think that's what happened?
The Giants actually gave him the exact same offer.
Yes. Offered
really?
the same thing. Yes.
Okay, did not know that. Sure.
Yeah. So he chose the Dodgers, the Doyers.
So he chose.
He just probably didn't want to move too. Low-key lazy. Kevin K. Also. Great job, boys. Listen, shout out Kevin K. I don't necessarily love to take compliments from Kevin K. I like Kevin.
Yeah.
Right? He's here every goddamn day.
He is, yeah. No,
Buffalo Bills
Kevin,
scumbag.
Sure.
Buffalo Bills scumbag.
Yeah. Well,
Buffalo Bills fan.
Scumbag. There it is. That's why.
Scumbag.
See, there's nobody that guts hates more than one
Kevin K.
Buffalo Bills.
Scumbag.
That's
but I love Kevin K. I love Kevin K. He's here every goddamn day. If we're fucking live, Kevin K's here. Kevin K's a scumbag, though.
Deepak, look, there's a lot of shows out there.
What's he doing?
There's a lot of sports shows that are out there. You won't find 2 better looking guys on a show.
I'm telling you right now.
1 and 2.
Right
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Over here. No, over here. It's wrong. Cam 3. Or whatever.
Yes. Well,
West by God, help me out. What cam am I?
Guys, we appreciate your services on this show, but there's 2 good looking guys that are in this.
And West by God, your comment. Absolutely hilarious.
What by does this cam for? Give me the cam for. I just want to see Bryce.
I see what you did there, Wes.
Okay, he is interesting, Larry. All right, man. Next topic. Shout out to Shohei, man. I don't know if the Dodgers have signed everybody in the fucking world and still never won a World Series. I feel like, except for when what was it, 2020 they won it.
I was gonna say
yeah, right. I guess that was pretty recent. Never mind. I'll shut up. All right.
It's the Yankees.
They just won the World Series.
We're talking about the Yankees.
Well, okay. Oh, that fair enough. Fair enough. Draymond Green is the next topic because of what he did last night and actually what he did to me. Me and Guts last night. Quick story for everybody. Are sitting on the couch. There's only 2 games left of the slate, right? We're just sitting here deep diving. And Gutsy is not a guy that all of a sudden just will non-bankroll play something, right? He's not that guy. But I will. I'm just trying to shoot and score, right? Shoot or shoot. So I'm asking Guts, yo, 2 team to make you cream. Shout out to Cord. Shout out
Germ.
Thank you, Germ. Germ, if you're here, we love you. 2 team to make you cream. I come to Gutsy with this. I say, yo, Suns, money line. Clippers, money line. Book them, 2-team parlay. That's the bet. I go, Guts, will you ride? Me and John, producer John, you guys know him. We're both on it. Guts goes, I'm not riding. I'm not doing it. And I go, okay. Well, then, Gutsy, what will you ride, Guts? What is it that you'll actually place? And he comes to me with this. And I go, well, is it a player prop? Is it a 3-point shot? I mean, what is it that you actually want to bet? He goes, I'll bet a 3-pointer. I said, okay, but what guy do you want to look at? And he's got some nostalgia, PTSD from Draymond Green back in the day. Okay, there's 2 guys that Gutsy used to bet. It's MPJ, right over 2.5 threes. That shit never hit. Shit never. Literally throwing the trash can. It's never fucking hit. One
single time.
The second bet was Draymond Green over a 0.5 threes. Draymond's got to make 1 shot.
We need 1 3.
We need one shot.
One.
Okay. I go. By the way, I mean juice to galore. I mean it's minus 145. I mean this bet is just it's an outrageous.
Disgusting.
Play. And we go. Book it, okay? Book 1 unit on it for both of us. Let's go get it done. Me, John, and Guts. Me and Guts sitting there watching the game. Probably 2 minutes into the game, Draymond gets his first look, doesn't shoot it, passes it out, dishes it. Okay, well maybe Draymond doesn't want to shoot the fucking ball tonight. No. 3 possessions later, Draymond gets a wide open 3. Brick. It was an absolute brick, right? And then probably with about 3-4 minutes left in the first quarter, he shoots another 3. Brick. We're sitting here 0 for 2, right? So it can't get that much worse than 0 for 2. And then we go to halftime. We're coming out of halftime. Draymond Green. Bryce, can you pull the photo up? Does the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen in my life watching the NBA. He proceeds to, and not only, okay? Hey, look, I'm not some what's Nurkic, right?
Yeah.
Nurkic. What's his first name?
No, it's last name.
No, that's his last name.
Yes.
Yeah. Nurkic.
What's his first name?
Nobody cares.
Sure. So Nurkic is just running down the court pretty much beside Draymond. I mean, he wasn't really like in front of him or behind him or really even touching him whatsoever. Draymond Green proceeds to, he's kind of facing a sideline and just for some reason, tornado 360 backhand, boom, right to the neck area of Nikola Jokic. That's it. Nikola. Got it. Jokic. And just, it was the most unbelievable thing that I'd ever seen. And then we obviously go to the score table and Gutsy goes, I wasn't even really watching the game. He goes, by the way, Draymond Green just knocked somebody out. He just knocked somebody out playing basketball.
Well, I mean,
and I go, okay. And so he's
NBA style, maybe. I mean, during the hockey game the other night, there was actually a guy.
No, sure.
Knocked out.
Okay,
like, that was knocked out. That guy was.
Look, the NBA is.
Larkin was on the ice dead.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That was a dead man on the ice.
Fair enough. So he proceeds to tell me, he goes, Bryce, camera here. We're dead. We're absolutely dead. So they run to the monitor. They review it. Obviously, a flagrant 2. Draymond Green ejected from the game. Not only was he ejected from the game, we never got another 3-point shot, and our bets died in an all-time fashion.
Yep.
In an all-time fashion.
Yep.
Now, Draymond Green, I don't know, like, Guts, what point do we just have to seriously, like, not let him play basketball for how he acts on the basketball court? He is like the hardest acting guy of all time. Well, he acts so hard. He acts so tough. He talks shit to all the youngins that come in the league. Yeah. He does all this, and that, right?
Yeah.
But he is a fucking scumbag, bro.
Well,
I mean, the ultimate scumbag is Draymond Green.
He just signed his last contract. There's no way he's going to sign another one. I would have never signed him to begin with after he fucking knocked out Poole.
Yeah. So he's looking to be suspended again. Obviously, it is pretty insane. I don't really get it. But it's just like at some point, Draymond Green is just not playing basketball, and he's just out there for he's just out there to fuck around, dude. And I hate, and even watching him play, yeah, he's good, I guess, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the value that he provides to the Warriors now, and I'll say this, it does not outweigh the bad that he does on the floor, dude, by hurting his team over and over and over and over again. And just the fact that he has a couple rings makes him think that he just has the highest amount of clout to do whatever the fuck he wants. And I hate it. I think he's never been good. And yeah, he might have helped him win a couple of championships, but without the main guys, you guys obviously know that shit never fucking happens. And all we needed was 1-3, sold that, ejected from the game, lose in all-time fashion bet. And at some point, Gus, we got to get Draymond just the fuck out of the league.
It's classic NBA. The NBA sucks. I don't even want to talk. I literally hate the NBA.
Yeah, it's just so bad. I had to rant about Draymond. He's just absolutely fucking awful.
I hate the NBA.
Last topic before we get our guy Jay in here to cap the entire UFC 296 platter. Cam Newton actually said something very, very interesting the other day. And Guts, I'm actually going to let you take this because you know more about this than I do. Cam Newton.
Also have a video.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's just jump right in.
No, let's jump right in. I can't.
Parody, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and really, Dak Prescott. These are game managers. They're not difference makers. Listen, motherfucker, I don't give a damn what you do. You don't have to score every time. You just don't have to throw a pick every time either. If we're going to really call a spade, a game manager is different than a game changer.
Go ahead.
One of the funniest things of all time, to be honest. I absolutely love that. I didn't even know he had a podcast, but that shit was so fucking funny to me when I saw it today. Yeah. The only reason I wanted to bring this up, and I will be quick with it is more of, what would you rather have as your quarterback? Would you rather have a game manager or what's the other one exactly?
Or a game changer?
Not a game changer. What did he exactly?
It was
say?
A game manager, or
He said, difference maker.
Difference maker. That's what it was.
Okay, difference maker.
Yeah.
So, would you rather have your quarterback of your NFL team be a game changer or a game manager or a difference maker?
Well, dude, I think it actually, to answer this question for real, I think it really depends, because it depends on what kind of offense you're in. And again, I don't really consider Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's a guy that can go out there and win you football games. So I'm not sitting here, but then you got to ask yourself, who do you look at in what category? What is Jalen Hurts? Is Jalen Hurts a difference maker? Or is he just controlling the game? Because he doesn't really throw all over you all the time. It just makes ridiculous plays. I feel like Cam Newton, this is kind of a bad point, because he is just talking about guys that are flashy and guys that are not flashy, bro. Because he's okay, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. I don't forget him. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua's not no flashy guy, but Tua can win you a game.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not really Brock Purdy. Yeah, he's got a shit ton of weapons or whatever, but Brock Purdy puts the ball where you need the ball to be put.
Sure.
So that's my situation, I think, with this. But I would probably be honest with you, if I had any decent kind of weapons for real, I'd probably want a game manager, because if I got a solid defense and a bunch of weapons everywhere, just give me somebody back there that can operate the game and not lose the game for us, and we'll win it in other avenues. Because, a quarterback's a ton to a football team, but it's not the difference in a win or a loss.
Well, it can be, but I think that when I look at game manager, I think to myself, though, is a game manager, is that even possible unless you have a good coach? You're never going to call, let's just think Aiden O'Connell.
Right.
Aiden O'Connell's not a fucking game manager, because or who's I think of a bad quarterback who really never doesn't turn the ball over very often. You're not gonna look at them and be like, oh, he's a game manager.
Yeah.
Just because he's on a bad team. So I think the argument to begin with is fucking weird, because I don't I understand what they're saying. I think that Brock Purdy isn't as good as he is right now on a lot of other teams. And I would agree with that 100%. Yes. A lot of different quarterbacks. And I'm not saying Mac Jones, but quarterbacks like that. Hot take by West by God. You take your guess. I think that someone like Mac Jones, someone quarterbacks kind of in that echelon, could go to San Fran and be just as good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you put Bailey Zappi in San Fran, they're probably pretty good. I hate to sit here and and I hate we're talking about Brock Purdy now all of a sudden, but like Brock Purdy is still a guy. Like, dude, nobody talks about how accurate he is out of the pocket. He does scramble and make plays. Yeah. Like, everybody just acts like Brock Purdy just sits back there, distributes the rock. No. Brock Purdy is a dog. Okay. And there's a reason that he's good in that offense. Yes, the offense is molded and structured very, very well, and it fits him and it fits all the weapons around him. But he is the one that operates it at such a high level. There's a lot of other guys that would not be able to operate it or process the reads in Shanahan's offense as fast as he does. And that is why Brock Purdy, I think I could even argue, is a difference maker or like a game changer. Like, I mean, and let's also start with the original argument was started by Cam Newton, who he would automatically put himself in the category of a difference maker, right? So let's start it there as well, because he's not like, also, Cam Newton never had back-to-back winning seasons. I mean, we don't talk about that. Like, I saw a comparison today of Dak Prescott, because I knew this was coming up. Dak Prescott and Cam Newton's actual stats of their careers. Cam Newton was not even relatively close to as good of a quarterback as Dak Prescott. Now, that is just the flat-out truth. Through more touchdowns, through less interceptions, won more games. He has had, I mean, how many years have the Dallas Cowboys had a winning record now under Dak Prescott? And yeah, Cam Newton had one legit season. The MVP, 16-1, 15-1, went to the Super Bowl and lost. Okay, he lost the Super Bowl. Okay, Cam Newton is like, I could sit here and tell you that Joe Burrow, all right, we've lost the Super Bowl. It's the same fucking thing. Dak Prescott. So for him to say that Dak Prescott is not a difference maker, but is 10 times better of a quarterback than Cam Newton is absolutely ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say on that topic.
Sure. No, that's all I really got on it. I mean, that's.
So who would you rather have?
Also, what I want to say is I saw Kevin Case come back, and we're going to get to our guy here right now.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say on this, Kevin K, I saw your slimy ass try squeezing it in. Bryce, if you could just scroll up for a second. Look what Kevin K tried slipping in here, into these comments right here. Well, not that one. Right there. Yeah, no, down, right there. Pop that one up. Josh Allen is both. Absolutely the motherfuck not. If you think that Josh Allen's a game manager, Kevin, you are out of your goddamn mind. He throws the most interceptions of anybody. Of anybody of all time. That is the definition of a actual non-game changer. Yeah, there was like non-game changer, it would be Josh Allen right there.
I agree. I'm a big Josh Allen fan, actually. I mean, I know he actually does have like the highest assist to turnover ratio, touchdown to interception ratio over the past couple of years. Cam Newton for president. You guys are insane. I think that I would rather have a guy like Purdy in an offense like that. I simply just would. Now, let's get to the main part of this show, baby. We are hyped up for this. And this UFC card in Vegas this weekend is just, it's one for the books. I mean, the card is so loaded. It is so stacked. And there's nobody that I would rather have on my show today to talk about it than just the absolute locksmith himself. I've never met him. I'm so excited to meet him, talk to him. Our guy, HayJivePicks. Welcome to the show, brother. Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I know that we've never met, bro, but we are absolutely ecstatic for the card this weekend. We're gonna go through and dissect all of them. But how excited are you for this card? And we really appreciate you coming on the show, my man.
Man, I am so excited, but so anxious, dude. I swear I've been sweating like all day. Yeah, it's like the pay-per-view buildup is just different. It's just so much different. This is, in my opinion, the biggest card of the year, the most stacked card of the year. And just thinking about it all day, like I've had a strong sweat in my pits like all day. I just haven't stopped sweating.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it's a sweaty card. You know, the pits. Sometimes deodorant helps. You know, you never know. It's one of those situations where it's gonna be a sweaty ass card. We all know that.
I need to say right now that I literally cannot agree more. For some reason, I have this anxious feeling in my stomach that will not leave until the fight card this weekend, because and listen, hey Jive, this is a kid show, right? Kid friendly show.
Yes, very
my
much so.
Dick only gets hard for two guys, right? That's it. Two of them. That's Conor McGregor when he's fighting. The other one is Colby Covington.
This Mr.
I
Chaos.
I was feeling you're gonna say that.
I fucking
yeah.
love Colby Covington because
Absolutely.
and you can ask anyone.
Like,
I fucking watch all of. I'm like addicted to like UFC press conferences, UFC anything, right? So I watch them all, and there is nobody like Colby on the mic. Nobody. And I don't care if some of it's scripted. I literally don't care. It's all a fucking reality show anyway. It's one big fucking reality show.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it. I love how he doesn't give a single fuck about nothing. Yeah. I wish the whole fucking shit in Miami never happened with fucking Jorge, because that fucked everything up for like over a year. Yeah. But I am so psyched up for this fight. I'm not gonna skip to it. I'm not gonna say what side I'm on in that fight yet.
No, not yet.
I'll wait till we get to it. I'll wait till we get to it. But I'm fucking psyched up, and I can't. I'm with you so much. I have this anxious feeling. I cannot wait for this fight.
Well, we're all anxious and we're all super excited. So let's just dive right into it, man. I know we got a ton of them. So Jives, do you want to jump into the prelims, man? I'm gonna kind of let you just guide this thing how you want to go. Whatever picks you got. I kind of want to flow through them and obviously talk about the big fights. Now we got 5 fights on the main card, I do believe. But is there any prelims or any just the prelims by itself that you would like to talk about or tell the viewers about and just a fight that you like?
Well, the prelims are still stacked too. I mean, if you're a true UFC fan, you watch all the cards, you see the names on the prelims, and you'd be like, okay, these guys are like main card fighters usually. Yeah. I mean, we got even the feature prelim, Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell. That's a main card pay-per-view fight. I mean, that's like 2 top-ranked featherweights. So a lot of good fights. You got Cody Garbrandt on there too.
Can I ask you a question? I didn't look it up. Does Bryce still get to wear his camo shorts?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ever since they switched to Venom, he's been rocking him every fight. So
he's
taking it on short notice too, which is
he needs to get a win though, right?
I mean, he's coming off a win, but it wasn't a very impressive
exactly. And then the fight before that was like,
he got smoked.
That was a rough fight to watch, especially as a Bryce Young guy. Or Bryce Young. Bryce Young. This football show usually I'm roasting Bryce Young about something.
Yes.
But sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's a really stacked prelim card. I mean, these are a lot of tough fights to judge. And honestly, on the prelims, nothing really stands out to me as far as like something I'd want to hammer. But I mean, if we're going to take some picks here, Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell, I would lean Bryce Mitchell because even though he has taken it on short notice, that tells me that he's confident moving into this fight. Josh Emmett does not have good takedown defense throughout his career. Everyone knows Bryce Mitchell wants to get the fight to the ground. Josh Emmett does have some heavy hands. And if you watch the last fight that Bryce Mitchell had with Dan Ige, his eye got swollen up in the first round. So that's a scary part with taking Bryce Mitchell here, though. I know he's the favorite, so I'm not just saying anything crazy, but I would probably take Bryce Mitchell. One more we could highlight on the prelims here: Cody Garbrandt, Brian Kelleher. Everybody knows Cody Garbrandt. Looked like he could be the best fighter on planet Earth when he fought Dominic Cruz back in the day. Since then, he's been on a rough patch. I mean, just the chin has left him. And then he had that fight earlier this year against Trevin Jones, UFC 295, which was very underwhelming. He looked scared to engage. I think he only landed like 20-some significant strikes, which is just abysmal. Yeah. But he's taken on Brian Kelleher, who's also pretty old and hasn't fought in a while. But Brian Kelleher really only loses to like the cream of the crop. He takes tough fights, losses to Mario Batista, Umar Nurmagomedov, Ricky Simone. And then he's getting matched up against other guys that are just, not even UFC level, like guys that
just not in his league.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a weird fight too. Cody Garbrandt's kind of a bigger favorite, which I don't really like because just based on his last performance, it was just super underwhelming. So, that's another chalky guy that I wouldn't take him at that chalk, but I'd maybe look for like a Cody Garbrandt by decision or something like that. Brian Kelleher is a game opponent. He's been submitted a bunch. And I haven't seen a line on Cody Garbrandt by submission. He has 0 submission wins. But if you're like one of those guys that loves to take long shot props, Cody Garbrandt does have the wrestling ability, hasn't shown he's got the submission ability, but Brian Kelleher has been submitted a bunch of times. I think that's maybe like a little long shot. Like if you're really, I'll be in Vegas So I'm going to be an absolute degenerate this week.
Oh, that's so fucking
bankroll management is out the window. So I might, just sprinkle a little bit something on there because I expect it to be pretty big. I mean, everybody's probably expected Cody by KO, Cody by decision.
Right.
That submission line's got to be like plus 1,500, plus 2,000, something crazy like that.
I would love to see what it is. I'm trying to see. They don't have the props on DK yet.
I also will say too, you're
Bryce,
going out to Vegas, which I'm so fucking jealous about. Me and my boy, we were talking about going out there a couple months ago, but we got something else going on, so we didn't go. But even earlier today, like I was thinking about this so much that I was actually looking up flights just to see if I did decide to go. Are you? Because I can't imagine how pumped you are for tomorrow. Are you pumped? How much do you look forward to tomorrow?
For the press conference you talked about?
Yeah. Let me preface it this way. How much money would you pay to watch the press conference tomorrow? Like, I just need to know how excited you are for it.
Well, it's free if you get there, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely packed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, our flight is like during the actual press conference, which is the worst time.
That is so
tough. But, I mean, everyone's really looking forward to Colby. But the reason why is because Ian Gary is also on the main card.
Yeah, right.
And if you know Ian Gary, you know all the drama that's been going on with Ian Gary. Ian Gary has been under a lot of fire by everyone. And he was actually a no-show today at the media day, which they do with like the actual reporters, not in front of like a live crowd. He didn't show up, and he hasn't done any media leading up to this. There's rumors that he's not even going to show up to the press conference, which absolutely sucks because
that would suck.
Colby, Colby's got something ready for him.
Absolutely, dude.
Which is like super disappointing. So if he doesn't show up to the press conference, that's going to suck. But either way, Colby's going to be there. I know Leon's a tough guy to like go at for stuff. Colby.
Yeah, I feel like Leon doesn't like do too much shit or talk that much shit. He's just kind of like that. Yeah, he's a boring ass dude, but he finds ways to win, bro. It's the weirdest shit about him.
He's a great fighter, but he's not really a shit talker. I mean, he had his kind of like a moment against Kamaru on the mic their last time out where he was like, being a little bit confident, but I don't know. This press conference is so hyped up. Something's telling me that it's just not going to live up to the hype, especially if Ian Gary doesn't make it there. But then we also got Tony Ferguson. He's probably going to be saying a bunch of weird shit.
Yeah.
Patty Pimblett's on there too. I mean, there's a bunch of people that could make it very, very exciting. So looking forward to that. And, hopefully, maybe I'll buy the Wi-Fi on the plane and watch it then.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. So Cody is minus 210 for everybody that's out there that wants to take him. Brian Keller is plus 155, and then Josh Emmett is plus 170, and Bryce Mitchell is minus 235, which is a pretty crazy line for what you just said, Jive. But let's kind of digress and get into the main card here. Obviously, I think the first fight is Ian Gary, I do believe, is the first fight. Versus Vincent LeCue, if I do believe that I am right about this. Yeah, we can get this thing pulled up. Obviously, Ian Gary is still undefeated. We all know that and love him. I'm a big Ian Gary guy. I think he's a fucking stud. I really do, dude. I mean, minus 360. Wow, this guy is crazy. Oh, shout out Hasbull in the background. I love the Hasbull in the background. I didn't even see that. He's hanging out back there. No, dude, Ian Gary's a fucking monster, bro. I love his moxie, the way he goes about himself. And he's an absolute stud. So about this fight, kind of what do we got to look into? And Gary get out of here with a dub?
Yeah, well, this one is interesting. When it got announced, I'm like, this is Ian Gary all day. I mean, Vicente, he had a great run, and then he took the 2 losses to Bilal Muhammad and Jeff Neal. The fight against Jeff Neal, he took a beating, and he ended up with a brain bleed, comes back this year, fights RDA, picks up a decision win, 5-round main event. And he used a lot of takedowns in that one. I think he racked up like 8, and he looked a little scared to engage on the feet, coming off the brain bleed. It's like, he's probably not too confident in his stand-up, in his chin, because he was known for that for a long time. Just his ability to take a shot and just walk you down and throw hands. And he's got some heavy hands, but in his last fight, he looked a little timid out there. Ian Gary, this is the biggest or the toughest opponent that he's ever faced, hands down. Like in the UFC, he's kind of been fighting scrubs. Like he's been
right.
He's coming off the fight with, what's his name? Fucking
who did he just beat?
What's his name?
Yeah, he just beat Neil Magny, and Neil Magny.
Magny.
He's like the gatekeeper to the rankings. And in that one, Neil took it on short notice. I think Ian Gary would have probably done the same thing.
That was one of the most like vicious, disrespectful things I've never seen anyone do what Ian Gary was doing to him. In like during the whole week, the lead up to it, the press conferences, every time anyone would ask him a question, Gary would be like, you can't answer the question. Like, it was some of the most.
It was rough. Yeah. It was rough. It was. The crazy part about that is because he basically painted him out to be like a child abuser, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And then now Neil Magny's in like a custody battle for his kids, and like they could use that footage of Ian Gary going after him to like, his ex-wife, I guess now could use that footage to like go up against him for the custody battle, which is crazy.
That's absurd by that.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely took it and ran with it. It wasn't really anything that anybody would like think twice about, but that was what he found to like make him hate the guy. So I guess it worked out for him, and he put a beating on him, which I was pissed about because I had him by KO, and of course he just beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds and then lose the bet.
It's crazy. He just didn't knock him out. I swear to God.
Yeah, no, this is hands down Ian Gary's toughest opponent. Luque's been around for a very long time.
Yeah,
and it's the more I think about it, like Ian Gary as this big of a favorite against a guy in Vicente Luque who's fought the best of the best, has beaten some of the best of the best. It's a little tempting to take Vicente Luque in the spot, and the ground game is the real weapon that he could utilize because he showed in the last fight he's willing to take the fight to the ground. He's got some great submissions, and Ian Gary, we haven't really seen him too much on the ground. Like these guys are our former training partners as well. They've both trained at Killcliff. Ian Gary's kind of bounced around gyms as of recently. He's not really at Killcliff too much anymore. But from what everyone says, like Ian Gary has been knocked out in sparring. They had their way with him on the ground with the submission. So it's like I'm a little tempted to take Luque here, but I mean, gun to my head, I would take Ian Gary. I mean, you're not really getting too much. If I had to take Ian Gary, I'd take him by decision. I think Luque is tough enough at this point. I don't think the chin is like anything crazy that you'd have to worry about. He's only been knocked out once, and that was that 3-round battle with Jeff Neal. I think Ian Gary by decision. If you like the Ian Gary side, if you like the Luque side, a long shot prop that you really need to consider is Luque by submission. I think it's plus 1,000. Okay, Luque's got a ton of submissions on his record. He's got a really nice Darce choke. If he's true to his word, I got some insider info today. I got my haircut at the New Era Barbershop where all the guys go down here in Boca.
Nice.
They cut Luque's hair a couple days ago or before he left, and they were like, "Yeah, I think he's planning on taking this fight to the ground." So that's definitely something I'd be considering. Plus,
a little bit of an inside source. Love it.
Yeah. But I mean, if Gary could keep it on the feet, he's so good at keeping the range that I think he could just find his way into a decision and get it done there. But
that's exactly how I would that's exactly how I look at this fight, because if Ian Gary, if he can keep the distance and just kind of, I mean, dominate the striking early, especially early on in the fight, it's going to be tough, for Vincent to get him to the ground if he's going to be so damaged after, a couple early rounds of getting really beat up by Gary. So and that's usually what he tends to do. I like Ian Gary in the fight. That's what I'll be taking. I'm going to parlay probably a bunch of these guys, but so you'll take Gary. I know you will.
Well, I mean, you just heard me, bro. I literally said, again, kids show, my dick gets hard for 2 guys.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor. What is Ian Gary?
Fucking
he's Irish, but if you haven't heard, repping the Brazilian colors because his wife is from Brazil. She's got a lot of pull on him, so he might be.
He's whipped, motherfucker. Yeah, that's all I needed to hear.
Simp.
I'm taking motherfucking Luque by fucking submission this weekend. That's all I needed to hear. I didn't realize that was going on behind closed doors. Yeah. That's all I need to know. If you're whipped, you're cooked. Nothing else matters.
Dude, what is Luque by decision? That would be a crazy.
No. Luque submission and Luque money line. That's it. That's all that matters.
Okay, that's all you're.
That's all that matters.
Hey, if you got big balls, you take that. But if you're the safer guy, I take Gary by decision.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Jive, on this show, we've got nuts. We've
got
got nuts on this
especially
show.
on the UFC card.
Yeah, on the UFC card, we've got nuts.
Oh,
wow.
That is on you.
That is on me.
That is on you.
That is
Bryce.
on me. That is on me.
That is on you.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I can't believe I just said that.
That's crazy. Hey, Jive, we're not making this dark. I promise we're not making this dark.
Exactly, Drowsy. Thank you, Drowsy.
Ones and twos right here. Bryce, show your face again real quick.
Bryce, back.
Drowsy in the comments.
Cancer survivor, but he's only got one nut.
Oh,
him just going on about how we all have nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Right? And he knows. Like he knows.
Well,
that's crazy.
And John, they try to push his narrative that I hate cancer.
Loves cancer.
No,
that
you're like pro-cancer.
I'm pro-cancer.
Like you're
not
like
pro-cancer. I'm not pro-cancer.
Yeah.
No. Not on my show. You're not gonna tell me on my show that I'm pro-cancer. I'm not pro-cancer.
I'm not even trying to bring this story up right after this. We're going on to the next fight. We went to an Iowa game once. Everyone was waving at the Children's Hospital. Lloyd turned around. Turned around. He didn't wave at him. It was crazy. It was crazy. So that's
him off.
That's the type of guy.
Flipped him off.
I mean,
flipped him off allegedly.
listen.
Flipped him. We've gone too far.
God, this is what I deal with, bro. That's what
Get
they
to
do
the next fight. We've
It's
gone
all
too
right.
far. We've gone too far.
We're going to the next fight. The
he
next
fucking hates kids and kids.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
God,
Jesus
Drowsy,
fucking
stop
Christ.
it, man. All right. Wonder Boy facing a badass. I'm not even going to say his name. Facing an absolute badass of a stud. Another one of those guys with one of the last names that you just don't want to fuck with. That's what I say. You just don't want to fuck. What is Kevin saying? I mean,
that's not. We're trying to listen, guys. We're trying to talk about these goddamn fights. We can't keep talking about nuts. And again,
Jive,
I'm not trying to get us banned on TikTok.
Dude, I want to know if Jive, can Jive see the comments?
Oh, can
yeah,
you? Oh, thank God. All right. Otherwise, this would have really been off.
I just don't want to look bad. I'm not trying to look bad because this is just the guys that we got over here.
Guess what? I love Stephen Wonderboy. I fucking love him. And I want to talk about Stephen Wonderboy because there's no one more fun to watch.
No, dude, he's an absolute animal. He just doesn't give a shit about anything, but I got a really bad feeling about this guy. There's a reason he's minus 520. I mean, holy shit. This guy, I've never seen this guy fight. This guy's got to be an absolute tank, Jive, right?
Oh, yeah. He's the man. I mean, he's the guy that everyone is claiming to be the eventual welterweight champion. Like, there's no doubt this guy at some point is going to hold a belt because 17 wins, 0 losses, and 17 finishes. This guy's never seen the scorecards. Like, he goes out there and just works people.
Holy fuck, bro. Are you for real?
Knockout power on the feet. He's got the submission ability on the ground. Like, this dude's an absolute animal. If you watch his last fight against Jeff Neal earlier this year, put a beating on him on the feet, did get caught a couple times on the feet, and then goes ahead and rear naked chokes him standing up, like throws him up against the cage, just grabs his neck and chokes the dude out, drops him. Like, it's the Shavkat is the guy.
Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's up run because he also took that fight on short notice against who did he take the fight on short notice against that he just got dominated by. This was, I think it was like 2 or 3 fights ago, right? It was it wasn't Cumshot. It was fucking
no, it was not Cumshot.
Who the fuck was it? Was it a Nurmagomedov?
Who are you talking about? Thompson?
No, Jeff Neal. Remember he took a fight on short notice. He just got dominated right away.
No, I don't.
Fucking, that's like 2 or 3 fights.
But
anyway, sorry, we could go on though. And I do actually have a question about this guy. He's not a Nurmagomedov, but he's from fucking Dagestan.
Is he from
Daggy?
Yeah,
no, he's not from Daggy. He's a Kazakhstani.
Kazakhstan. So are these guys getting drug tested? Or are they threatening drug testers? That's my question.
Dude, I mean, if you're in the mountains of Dagestan, do you think anyone's going to be going up there to test you? Probably not.
I'm just wondering. I'm just asking questions.
Right.
I mean, there's always the suspicions there, and there's a lot to back it up. But Shavkat mostly trains in South Florida here at Kilburn, like I said. But he is from Kazakhstan, does train there sometimes. But he's mostly a South Florida guy.
It's a good guy.
Nice. We got Larry. I'm betting on the guy on the left solely because he wears normal shorts, unlike Gutsy. True. No, very true. I mean,
these are classy shorts. Again,
I mean, look at these shorts. John, you tell me a day in your
life
life you'd never put these shorts on. You would
What's
not.
wrong with these shorts?
Not a pair of shorts you'd wear, John.
What's wrong with these shorts?
This is not a pair of shorts that you'd wear, right?
Never, bro.
Never. There's no way, bro. There's no way. And look, I'm not a fashionista myself, but you'd never catch me dead wearing those shorts.
Yeah, no, I'm a plain guy. Like I'm a
plain Janer. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like to I want people. I walk in the room. I want someone to go, "Who's that guy?"
And they go,
"What is
that
guy
guy's shorts
wearing?
are really bad."
Are those? Oh, those are some cool Lululemon shorts that guy's wearing right there.
Lululemon, you're a Lulu guy.
Shirt, Lulu, shorts, Lulu, hat, Seagull Stable.
Dude, Lululemon's got some great stuff. Lululemon's got great stuff. Like, why are you picking that?
Well, again,
listen. Okay, now again, Jive. I'm trying to talk about this next fight. I want to say why I think Stephen Wonderboy might shock the world.
Please tell me.
But I love these shorts. I saw these shorts, Jive, and I said, these things look magical. What's going on?
No, they're just saying that you should get in the octagon if your shorts started getting
Gutsy
shorter.
Might as well be a fighter of those shorts. And again, we have talked about this. Look at these fucking knees.
Rugby knees. We talked about this.
Connected this knee right here to someone's jaw, they're dead. Like there's no other way around it. So and I'm down to maybe one day we'll get into the fighting. I went to the UFC gym a couple times over in Chicago. Okay, I've been amongst guys who are actually fighting, and I'm just like over here in the corner, like, hey, I don't know, that guy's a psycho. But sure, maybe one day. But either way,
I just think it's hilarious.
I didn't even hear what he did. So you think Stephen Thompson's losing, correct?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he has a very good chance of winning, but he could make the fight close. If Shavkat comes out here and decides to kickbox with Stephen Thompson, the fight's going to look very close. Like Stephen Thompson's not a guy you want to fuck around with on the feet because he was an undefeated kickboxer. And nobody that's ever kickboxed him in MMA has won. So, I mean, if you're going to beat Stephen Thompson, you got to take him down. And Shavkat can do that. But in his last fight against Jeff Neal, he could have done the same thing, and he just chose not to. So, if he comes in here, this is like the perfect IQ test for Shavkat. It's like, the path to victory. Are you going to take it or not? And if he does take it, it should look pretty easy. But something tells me that his ego is going to, get the best of him, and he's going to want to try to test his skills against Wonderboy. And Wonderboy, even at 40 years of age, still got it on the feet. Like, he's still good. Still cream of the crop, kickboxer.
Yeah.
So if he does that, this fight's going to look really close. I think eventually Shavkat's going to realize, all right, I'm not better than him on the feet. I think he could match him, but I don't think he's better than him. I think eventually Shavkat comes to his senses and he's like, all right, I got to take this fight to the ground if I want to make this, a clear win for me. I think he does take it to the ground, but Stephen Thompson's never been submitted in his entire career. Like he can get taken down, but he's got great submission defense. So sneaky play on this one. Shavkat Rakhmonov by decision. I think it's like plus 240. I mean, you're getting a minus 600 favorite to just let Stephen Thompson survive the 3 rounds. You're getting at plus 240. I think that's a solid prop. But Stephen Thompson, it doesn't look good for him. Let's just say that. I mean, you're facing the guy that's never lost, finished every one of his fights. And that's another reason why I like the decision prop, because he's won all of his fights by finish. And everyone's going to be like, all right, if he's going to win, he's going to finish him. And times like that, I like to go opposite. And I think Rakhmonov by decision at plus 240 is a pretty solid play there.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. He's minus 725.
Yeah,
right now, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, he's that big of a favor in this fight, dude.
That's crazy.
If Wonderboy wins, how's he do it, Guts?
If Wonderboy wins, it's gonna probably have to be either by a knockout, or B decision. I don't think he can win a decision though, because I don't think he can win a majority of rounds. I think Stephen Wonderboy is gonna look fucking awesome. Like when you watch him, there's no one that looks more technical. He is literally the Tim Duncan of the UFC. Like he's so much fun to watch because he's going to throw these random spin kicks, all these random things you don't see other guys trying out because everyone else is a bunch of pussies. Yeah. And that's why I fucking love watching Stephen Thompson. But he's also old as fuck now. And you know that he knows that this is it. If he especially if he loses again, it's all over. Yeah, like it's all done. Even the hype behind Steve, he'll probably go to bare knuckle. Am I wrong about that? He'll probably go to bare knuckle. He'll probably do some random shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go to bare knuckle because I mean he likes to use his kicks and stuff like that. So I don't think that'd suit him.
I guess the only reason I thought about that was because I remember they were talking about it like like a year ago or something, or they were talking about offering him a bunch of money for it. And regardless, he'll probably go do something else because he's just a fucking beast. And he's got so much talent. But I think that if he wins, it's going to be by knockout. I would take him by knockout if you think he's going to win personally. Yeah. And I do like fading. I do think he's not going to win the fight though, and I don't mind taking. And I did see Rudy. He said Wonderboy gets submitted in the first round. I think that's a hot take. I also don't think that he's going to get submitted. But I do think he's going to probably lose by decision.
Lose by decision. Submitted would be crazy. I actually really do love the fight to go decision, just because Wonderboy's not a guy that's going to back down, dude. He's not going to be a pussy and just back down if things aren't going the way that they should go for him, you know. And so I think that if all goes well and he stays off the ground a little bit, I mean, we should be okay and get this in a decision, like you said, Guts. It's going to be really hard for him to win a decision. Right. So I don't think that's necessarily possible. Yeah. But definitely going to be a tough fight for him. The next fight, Bryce, can you pull it up? I know it's the one right before. Yep. Oh, this is a great one right here. So Tony, obviously, and then versus the Patty boy. Patty the Batty, our guy, 20-3 coming in. Does that say 26-9? If my eyes are right, wow. I mean, 2020 fucking eagle in these fucking eyes, boy. Gotta love that. Hey, it's the England versus United States. I'll tell you this. Patty the Batty, by the way, Jive. If I remember his last fight correctly, he did not look that impressive. I think it was a unanimous decision, wasn't it?
Should not have won.
So yeah, should not have won split decision. I thought it might have been unanimous, no?
It was unanimous, yeah, but it was everyone claimed robbery, which is
robbery. No, it was robbery because I remember that was the same night that Sean fought a couple weeks later against who did Sean fight, bro? Was it Costa? No, I forget.
Sean O'Malley?
No, yeah, Sean O'Malley, dude. He fought because before his title fight, Sean had a really bad performance, and everybody claimed robbery there when he beat whoever it was. Before that, I remember everybody just was comparing the two fights, the Patty Batty fight and the O'Malley fight. I remember everybody was comparing the two because they both were claiming robbery.
Huh? Forget his name. It was the Russian guy. I forget his name.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, O'Malley fought Petr Yan. That was before.
Yeah, Petr Yan. That's right, Petr Yan.
And, I mean, Petr Yan's like the man too, and then that was a close fight. They give it to O'Malley, which was like it could have went either way.
Right, that one could have gone either way. And
Patty versus Jared Gordon. I think Jared Gordon won that fight. I mean, it was a 29-28 unanimous decision for Patty Pimblett, and the judges' scorecards were kind of all over the place. Like, the rounds were generally close, but I thought Jared Gordon got the better of him on the feet in a lot of those rounds, and I thought he lost. But the silver lining there for Patty, though, is I think he broke his foot or his ankle in like the first round. So I don't know.
Maybe I'm totally wrong too. Was that also the fight where like the scorecards didn't come up right away? You know, and they were like taking forever to count the scores up, and like everyone was just standing around. They were like waiting for the judges' score. Yeah. Was that one of those fights too, where that kind of happened, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, what the fuck?
Might have been one of those fights. I can't remember for sure, but I remember that happened.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Someone in the comments, if you guys remember what fight that was, drop.
Yeah. Jared Gordon next drug deal,
ex-crackhead,
ex-crackhead. I see Jared Gordon at my Lifetime Fitness here all the time.
Shout out Jared Gordon,
cool guy,
crazy, wow,
cool guy. Shout out Jared. Wait, at where?
The gym here.
Anytime Fitness,
Lifetime.
Fitness. Jared Gordon.
Whoa.
What?
You don't know Lifetime Fitness?
What do you mean?
Lifetime Fitness is a fucking.
We talking like a YMCA kind of thing.
It's like a
YMCA on steroids.
Yeah, no, it's a nice gym.
Well, iCarly, it's about time you got here. Shout out, we were actually talking about you a little bit ago, iCarly. Yep. You missed something that you should have seen, and that's fine. That's what you get for being late. But that's interesting. Okay,
Bucket, what's up, my man? Jive, let's dive into this one, man. Tony Ferguson, I believe he has lost his last 5 in a row. I do believe that is the case in this situation.
Six in a row.
Yes, there you go. 6 in a row. I know Patty's won his last 5. Patty, obviously, one of the up-and-coming stars in the UFC, not only the way he acts, but the way he fights as well. This one should be interesting. I mean, I'll kind of turn the reins over to you, especially coming off Patty's last performance that wasn't great, coming back from injury. Maybe like you said, do you expect Patty to kind of come out here and really dominate this one?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of red flags with like everything in this fight because Patty's coming off the injury, and it sounded like after he got surgery, he got like reinfected. He had to redo it, so he's been off for like over a year.
Right.
Almost a little over a year. I mean, I guess it was like a year, 3 days ago. But Tony's 6 losses in a row. And if you watch any of his last fights, it's like every time after he fights, people are saying they should not let this man fight anymore because he just gets the shit beat out of him and he looks terrible. And then before every fight, everyone's like, man, I hope Tony can win. I believe in Tony. Like, Tony is going to make a comeback. He's going to do it. But then the same stuff happens. Like, he just goes out there and looks absolutely terrible. So, you know, you see the plus 270 at Tony Ferguson. You remember him when he was on that big run, and you're like, yeah, plus 270 on Tony Ferguson looks pretty good. But this isn't Tony Ferguson like that he was. Like, this is the death of Tony Ferguson. Like, this is a broken man in there. Like,
I mean, literally, just a guy that
probably should have been cut off. Like, after the Nate Diaz fight, that was one fight that I'm like, this guy should never fight again because Nate Diaz is actually like his level, like his age, like they've been in some wars, similar type. And it was like, he looked terrible. And then he shot for a takedown and he gets guillotined right away. Like Tony was a guy that survived the submission game of Charles Oliveira for 3 rounds and then survived the submission game of Beneil Dariush for 3 rounds. And then he's getting guillotined by Nate Diaz. And then he's getting arm triangle choked by Bobby Green in his last fight against Bobby Green. He gets pieced up for 3 rounds, gets taken to the ground, and then gets arm triangled with like 6 seconds left. It's like, this guy should not be let it to fight anywhere. Like, he just looks like a shell of himself. And then he goes and trains with David Goggins. I don't know if
that was weird.
That
was weird.
That's fucking
people like it kind of builds the hype of him a little bit more, but at the same time, it's like, what does David Goggins train you to do? He just breaks your body down more. Like,
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, dude, this is just gonna kill him.
It's like Tony Ferguson needs, to not fight again for one, but he also needs, like, I don't know, to take time off, like let his body recover. But he's out there like just breaking his body more. Patty is like, he's really, his best ability is a grappling. Like, you watch him fight. His striking defense is just abysmal. Like, he can get hit with anything. He gets hit with big shots, but he's got a good chin. He's never been knocked out. Yeah. And in this one, it's like, how does Tony Ferguson win? Well, he hasn't really landed. I mean, he hasn't knocked anybody out in a long time. He hasn't really landed knockdowns in a very long time. And the only takedown he's landed in the past 8 years, he got submitted on. So it's like, how does he win this fight? I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, do I really want to bet Paddy Pimblett at minus 340 after watching his last fight? Not really.
Right.
So I don't. I think since Tony Ferguson has shown the submission defense has left him, and Paddy Pimblett's best ability is his submission game, and he actually has some pretty solid, like really nice submissions. Like his fight against Jordan Levitt, he got his back, trapped the arm. So basically, Jordan Levitt's trying to defend a choke with one hand, which you just can't do. Right. And Patty got the rear naked choke. So I think if you're going to take a play in this one that I would like is Paddy Pimblett by submission. I think it's like plus 240, somewhere around there. And I just think Patty has the ability to get him down, maybe even just take the back from the standing position, like lock his hooks in and get a choke. So I think that's probably the way I'll go about it. But at the chalk, I'm like, I'm not a chalky guy in general. Right. If I see a big favorite, because this is MMA, we're talking 4-ounce gloves, like anything could happen. Right. So I rarely ever bet like anything over minus 250, anything like that. Yeah. I usually like to just take a prop and take the chance. Like I'll take a Patty by sub plus 240 over that. You know, you're laying less money, obviously, to get a bigger payout. So that's what I like in this one. Tony is just a shell of himself. I wouldn't even bother taking it.
Yeah, it's a weird one because, like you said, I mean, at minus 340, the way that Patty looked, I would assume that Patty would probably dominate this fight if he's healthy, especially on the ground. And Tony's getting so old, bro, and he looks so fucking bad. It's just one of them things where you just take Patty and you just kind of move on. I think it probably will be dealt by domination, probably, if he's fully back and healthy, like you said. Gus, you're not taking Tony. There ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no fucking way. I'm always on my guy Patty, even though he's not. I'm guessing he's not with Barstool thing anymore, though. Actually, that's probably done because that was probably with Penn.
Correct.
Yeah, that was a pin.
Oh, well, is Molly dead?
Molly's coming back.
Yeah, no, I mean she was
Molly's
never
She just fought.
she was never a good fighter to begin with.
No, I know, but she had the 2 spinning back fist knockouts. It kind of got me a little hyped about Molly.
No, I mean she had those, but they were against like complete cans. And then they give her a step up in competition. She gets mauled, and then they give her another layup. This girl named Yulia Stoliarenko, who's like, I think she was like 9-6. Like her professional record was 9-6, and 9 of her wins were by armbar. So all of her wins are by armbar. And then Molly goes in there. Julia gets the takedown and armbars her. That's like the only thing you had to worry about was the armbar, and you get armbar. And she actually rolled into the armbar too. It was a terrible performance.
Yeah, it was tough. Shout out Meatball Molly. She had a good run though. She had a good run. Her and who?
Patty?
Well, no, I'm just saying her and Patty had a run. Like I'm just saying, like they had a good run. Like they had a good thing going there. Their duo entrances and like their duo wins, it was very monumental. It was fucking awesome. But the only thing I'll say about it, no. See you later, Zero. I appreciate you coming in. But I like Patty to win this fight. He'll probably win by fucking submission.
Yeah.
And to answer Larry's question about the bowl cuts, he might actually have that shit. He might have something different going on with his hair. I feel like. Because I remember when
he comes out,
we used to watch his old stuff. He used to say like, when I get my bigger fights, I'm gonna have to like braid my hair so that way when I get smoked, because he acknowledges that he gets punched. So he's like, when I'm getting fucking smoked, I can't have my hair on.
You see the hair flying everywhere, and it looks bad to the judge.
It looks a lot worse. Yeah. So that's kind of.
Well, shout out, Patty. We're taking him. I do believe we got one more fight before we get to talk about the main event. Yep, this one I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know either one of these guys. So
it's flyweight.
This is flyweight. Do you know anything about these guys?
Well, you want to know something? I know something about this Brandon guy because the only reason I know about the Brandon Royval.
Yeah, Raw Dog Royval.
Nailed it.
Wow,
Raw Dog.
Fire fucking name.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy.
Best weight class Drowsy.
When he was like fighting up through the rankings, he had a big fight and all his family came there.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I think like his uncle like died while his family came. They're basically vacationing, but they're like there like for his fight. His uncle drowned in the ocean. And then he still went and fought the next day though and won. So
of course he did. That's fucking sports.
Yeah. So Bryce, I see the fingers are flying back there.
Yeah, fingers are flying over here from producer Bryce.
Again, I could have been wrong. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Am I wrong? True, then I totally missed it, but I
Bryce, go ahead. Tell me if I'm right on that.
Rudy,
if it wasn't him, it was somebody on this card that I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was fucking this guy. But either way,
that would be insane.
Either way though, I like this fucking kid.
Dude, Brandon.
Especially when we were watching the UFC Embedded, because I don't really know anything about him either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just learning about this guy. I literally, especially from the flyweight, for some reason, you just never really see much about flyweights. Right. But I will just let you take it from here, Jive. What do you like in this fight?
Yeah, flyweights are people that fly under the radar, but this is actually a really good fight. Pantoja just beat Moreno by split back at UFC 290 in July to get the belt. So he's the champ now. Royval is a contender that he's been up and down, but this guy is kill or be killed. Like he is, you don't want to mess around. I mean, all of his wins except 2 of them come by finish. So 13 finishes in his career.
Damn.
He's got some pretty nasty striking. He's got a good submission ability. Pantoja and Royval actually fought 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. Pantoja submitted him in the second round. So this is a rematch, and the line is pretty much the exact same. So when they fought the first time, this is pretty much the line that we got, which is crazy to me because since then, Pantoja won the belt and Royval has won 3 straight fights.
Right.
But the flyweight division isn't very deep. So, I mean, you're fighting guys that I think Royval should have beat. And he's going up against Pantoja at the same line. It's like, it's a little sketchy to me. And I look at this fight like Pantoja is a beast. Like the guy has never been finished. He's not like flyweights. You see a lot of finishes because he's got it so fast and they're so good on the ground. To never be finished at flyweight is super impressive. He is very hittable on the feet, but he's got a chin. So Pantoja, his best ability is his grappling. His ability to take the back is like second to none. Like if he gets on your back, you better be fighting the hands very quickly because he can backpack you, and his ability to throw the rear naked choke in very quickly is some of the best that I've ever seen. That's what he did to Royval in the first fight. Like he just got him to the ground, took his back, rear naked choke. Like it was over in a split second. So in this one, 5 rounds, I don't even know who it favors because it probably doesn't last 5 rounds. Pantoja, I think he gets this one done. I just don't see how Royval wins this one because Royval usually relies on some kind of crazy exchange on the feet, knocking his opponent down, and then maybe finishing it up with a submission. Pantoja, like I said, has the chin. He's got great striking as well, and he could take your back at any point. He could take you down. Royval has very poor takedown defense. If Pantoja comes out here, takes him down, gets his back, I think it's a wrap. So I think Pantoja is the play here. I'm going to be playing it for sure on the money line. You could take him by sub too. But I mean, if you like a dog, Royval is one of the better dogs because he's flyweight. There's a lot of variance. It's like heavyweights and then flyweights as far as like crazy shit that could happen. Like in his last fight, Royval landed a knee up the middle, caught the guy right on the chin, and then just TKO'd him. And he was an underdog in that fight. So, I mean, if you like a dog, I wouldn't blame you for taking Royval, but I think at this price, it's like Pantoja all day for me.
Yeah, I mean, at minus 175, it seems like, even just by reading the comments and listening to what you're saying, that he is just an absolute just phenom, an absolute stud. And at minus 175, that's just a perfect number. That's not high enough, especially in the UFC, for me to take that. I would take that all day, Guts.
Feels like there's...
But you're a big Royval guy.
You know, you smell that. Like I smell some cheese. It's almost what this smells like, right?
Yeah.
It almost smells a little, or maybe even a little fishy.
Well, and Drowsy's in here saying, Drowsy's in here pleading that the fight does not go to distance. So, I mean, and with that being said, the only guy that I think is going to finish him is I would take Pantoja by submission. That's the only other thing that I could even look at.
Well, since he's never been finished in his career, I mean, that's not such a crazy guess.
Right.
That he was gonna get finished.
Well, I mean, but this is Royval guy.
On there, like,
well, yeah, I mean, I'm just doing the basic math here. I mean, if my math is mathing, I mean,
no, that math.
This Royval guy's got no fucking shot. I mean, that's
he's got a shot. He's got a shot, but I just don't like his shot. Like,
he's got a shot. We're not a fan of the shot.
Someone, hey, mark me down for a Brandon Royval ticket in my back pocket Saturday night. Mark me down for that, Bryce, because that's gonna be there. Because now I have no choice.
Hey, Bryce.
Now this is out of respect pick.
Oh, sure.
You turned off?
Turned off. It's dead. We're dead.
Oh, she said it goes all the way 30. And just
every 30 minutes,
just as we talk about the production value of this show and this whole company is together and how it's raised.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Bryce,
there it is.
Bryce, camera on me.
Oh.
Yeah, Bryce. Do not mark that down. Don't mark
I have Pantoja. Back pocket.
I know you do, but I'm just saying for Gutsy's sake, don't write that down.
Whatever. That's fine. It's gonna be in my back pocket. You'll see. But anyways.
And then obviously let's get to the last in the main card. This fight, I mean, this fight's gonna be unbelievable.
Tanking.
I mean, this fight is just gonna be, I can't wait to hear what you gotta say, Jive, about this one. Leon Edwards, obviously the champ, he's an absolute dog. We talked about him earlier, not too much of a shit talker, but this guy that just fucking stands on business. And then Colby Covington is, I mean, he's fucking Colby Covington. I don't know what else I can really say about it. He's just a fucking, I mean, he's a jerk off and he's a fucking stud too. I mean, that's all I'll say. 17-3, 21-3 are the records. Both coming off wins. Obviously, Leon Edwards, last one I do believe was against Usman again in that situation. And Colby, I don't know, when was the last time Colby fought?
A year and a half ago?
Long time ago,
21 months ago. 21 months.
21 months ago. Who did he fight last? Who did he fight?
I almost
Jorge
Masvidal.
He fought Masvidal.
That was when Kobe won the belt, right? Right? Is that how we put it?
I mean, you could say he's the king of Miami.
Kobe won the belt.
King of Miami. That's
King of Miami. Up Kobe.
Absolutely.
That's the champ, baby.
Colby is at plus 124 on some books. I don't know. These aren't live odds, so I'm sure we could get you the correct numbers here in a second. And Leon Edwards is the favorite.
It's the same, actually.
Minus 148. It's the same on our
I mean, Leon's down to minus 160, but Colby's still 124.
Cool. All right. So Leon's moving up. Colby's staying the same. Jive, brother, we're the most excited for this big time fight on Saturday. What happens in the octagon on Saturday night?
It's an interesting fight. It's one that I keep going back and forth, and I want to buy into the hype. But I think the best part about this fight, Joe Rogan famously said, if Kamaru Usman wasn't alive, Colby Covington would be the welterweight champ. And this weekend, we're going to find out if that's true because he's not going up against Kamaru Usman.
Right.
Leon Edwards just got done beating Kamaru Usman twice, which is pretty damn impressive. Which is
pretty damn impressive considering that Usman was like the number 1 pound for pound fighter.
Yeah, I mean,
you beat him 1.5 times.
Beat him 1.5 times.
Yeah. You can say the first one was a fluke, but at the end of the day, still put him out cold. And then this last time out,
the craziest ending to a fight in my life, dude.
It's the best moment in sports history.
I remember seriously, dude. I was at my buddy. And I'll make this quick. I was at my buddy Billy's house. We were all watching the fight. And I remember looking at the sports book after the 4th round, and he was like plus 6,000 to win. And I was like, dude, there's no way. And I had an Usman ticket. I had a parlay of all 5 legs. 4 of them hit last leg Usman. And I just remember wiping my eyes and just like not even visually understanding what just took place when he threw that left kick right to the neck. And it was so perfectly timed. And that was just an unbelievable ending of a fight. I just remember exactly where I was when that shit happened. And so 1.5, I would say you're probably right, Bryce. Yes.
Not even 1.5.
Like I'd say maybe 1.1, you could say. But,
he
1.2 if you divide it by 5. There you go. Jive, take us away, bro. Sorry.
No, it's one of those moments that you'll never forget. But Edwards-Usman last fight, I was on Leon Edwards. Edwards is like a plus 200, 220 dog against Usman because people were like, oh, it was a fluke, right? Head kick. Usman will go in there and right the wrong. I was on Leon Edwards by decision as well. I had him on the money line plus 220, and then by decision was like plus 500. Wow. He goes out there, wins the decision. And it was a close fight, but I did think Edwards definitely won it. He had the point taken too. That's something you're going to have to look for is Edwards likes to grab the cage if he's getting taken down, which kind of scares me because Colby's going to take him down. Like he's going to look. That's absolutely where he's going to go. This is like everyone's buying into the hype of Colby's coming back. I know Donald Trump's going to be in the building. Colby plus money. It looks great, but I just don't feel good. I don't like his chances. I just don't.
More than Donald Trump's going to be there. We know what Donald Trump's also doing. Donald Trump's putting the belt on Colby.
If he does win, he better put the belt.
That would be electric if that happened.
That would be unbelievable.
That video.
Didn't Dana say that he couldn't walk him out, right?
Yeah, he
wasn't allowed to walk him out.
That makes more sense, though. That does make sense. But sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're all good. Colby, the thing about Colby is 1, the long layoff. 2, it's like the guys that he's beating are just they're aged, they're old, they're very old. Like he's beaten Jorge Masvidal, who retired the fight after that. He beat Tyron Woodley, which Tyron Woodley was well past his prime.
Yes.
He beat Robbie Lawler, who was well past his prime.
Lawler's what, 43 now?
Dirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's like these are his wins. Like I can't really put him up against a guy like he doesn't have any good wins. He's got good losses, but he doesn't have like really solid wins. For Leon Edwards to beat Kamaru Usman twice, he's on this long win streak. It's like Leon Edwards at minus 148. It just seems like the right side to me. And Leon showed his last fight. The takedown defense has improved a lot. Colby, I do think, is a guy that's not going to let up on the takedown, which concerns me because Usman does have good stand-up. And if he doesn't get the takedown, he's like, all right, I can still strike with you. Right. And that kind of plays into Edwards' game a little bit. Colby, if he doesn't get the takedown, he's going to keep shooting. Yeah. He's not going to give up on it. But I think Leon's ability to throw up knees up the middle, his hands are fast, and Colby has some wide holes in his striking defense. Like he can get hit. He's tough. He can get hit. He got dropped by Usman twice. I think Leon Edwards is a better striker. I think ultimately, Leon Edwards could knock him out. And I think he could knock him out early because I think Colby with the layoff, Colby with the layoff, he's going to come in there. Hasn't been in the cage for a very long time.
Right.
Leon Edwards, he's been fighting Kamaru Usman. Like he's been against Kamaru Usman's past 2 fights. He's got good wins before that. And it just I don't see how Colby, I mean, if he could take it into deeper waters, if he can make it to like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, then you start to favor Colby Covington because we all know the cardio. But I think early Edwards is going to be super dangerous with the knees up the middle. He landed some nasty knees on Kamaru Usman in the clinch his last fight. I think that's a beautiful spot for him here. If Colby's going to be shooting those takedowns, throw a knee up the middle. If you get taken down, try to get up, break the lock. He showed it against Kamaru. His ability to break the body lock is he just grabs one hand and then just isolates the hand. It just walks it off. Like that could work. I mean, it could work. Colby's a little bit different of a wrestler. So that's the real thing that's keeping me away from just hammering Leon Edwards at this number. Is like Colby's just a little bit different than Usman. I'm having second doubts. But the play for me is Leon Edwards, and by KO is like plus 400. I think there's a value on that one.
So, Jive, let me ask you this, man. Do you think that there's ever a world or a scenario where Leon kind of just comes out flat, man? I mean, because he really, I mean, we're talking about his last 2 fights against Kamaru, both wars, man. I mean, we were in Vegas for the second one, and the first one was obviously he just got absolutely mauled. And then obviously stunned the entire world. And then the last one was just a really hard-nosed fight. Now you're going to go into not necessarily a longer camp, but a camp that you got to get through. You know is going to be tough, and you're facing a guy that just doesn't give a fuck, man. And that is like the scariest part, I do think. So do you think kind of like what we saw with Izzy and Strickland, Izzy just had a bad day. It just, kind of came out flat. Do you think that that's a possibility here, or there's kind of no chance?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Like the Izzy Strickland fight was just mind fucking. Like I didn't even know what I was watching. Like,
Literally. Izzy literally, bro. Yes, literally.
I'm like, how is this even happening right now?
Yeah.
Like Sean Strickland should not be doing this to Israel Adesanya, but he did it.
Right.
And Colby could do that. But one thing I will say is Leon fought back in March. And if you remember correctly, Colby wanted the fight to be in July, and he wanted to do it in London because there was a fight card scheduled for London in July.
Right.
But Leon didn't want to do it then. I think that was a smart move because when champions have quick turnarounds like that, it would have been like a 3 to 4 month turnaround, which is pretty quick. I think they lose a lot in that. And we kind of saw it. For one, we saw it in the Aljamain Sterling Sean O'Malley fight. He turned around in 3 months, gets knocked out. We saw with Israel Adesanya, he fought Pereira in April, then fights Strickland in September. And loses.
Quick.
Leon Edwards is now has 9 months of rest and a camp. He knew he was going to be fighting Colby the whole time.
Right.
So he's had 9 months to prepare for this fight. I actually think that works out well for him. Could he come out flat? Sure. I mean, it's the fight game. You're betting on 2 guys here. It's not like a team where you got like 50 guys on an NFL team. Like you're one guy. If that one guy fails to perform that night, of course, like that's your bet. That loses. But this is Leon Edwards, who actually, I mean, he gets better every single fight. He's still 32 years of age, and Colby is 35, going to be turning 36, a little bit older. I think the Leon is in his prime right now, and I just think he gets it done.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna take Leon.
Okay,
I am, and again, I know you're probably gonna take Colby because you're just a Colby guy.
You don't know what I'm doing.
You love Colby, you suck him off. So I'm gonna do the due diligence on both of our parts, and I'm gonna take Leon.
That's fine,
and we're gonna have a battle on Saturday.
You don't know what I'm taking.
I know, bro.
That's what I'm taking.
God, there's one thing about me, bro. I know my guys.
Ask me what I'm taking.
This is my guy. I know my guys. There's not a world where he takes Leon Edwards. There's not a world, bro. So Guts, who are you taking, Gutsy?
Colby Chaos Covington.
Wow, would you look at that?
Colby Chaos Covington will knock out Leon Edwards because of multiple different reasons, but the biggest one is going to be this. Leon Edwards is coming into this fight with no motivation. There is really nothing behind Leon Edwards to get up for this fight. This is the most flat fight he's ever had in his career.
I could agree with that, probably.
He's done everything, right? You could try to argue that the fight after he beat Usman was his biggest fight. But the thing was, he had already won the title. He had already become one of the biggest names in England.
Yeah.
That fight, I mean, he still almost lost the fight.
Yeah.
He still almost lost the second fight to Usman as well. It's not like he just ran through Usman that fight. Like, you still could have even made an argument almost that Usman won. But I'm fine with him giving it to Leon. I'm fine with him keeping the title. If you want to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ, right? You actually got to beat the fuck out of him. You can't go in there and leave it even close, or you don't win that shit. And I think Colby, this is the most motivated he will ever be in his entire life over anything. There's nothing else in the world that he would get up for like this. This is literally Michigan, Ohio State, essentially, right? Yeah. And that's literally what this is. And Colby Covington is the most motivated. It's the biggest fight of his career. If he doesn't win this fight, it's over. It's done. No more Colby Covington. Colby Covington will then turn into the next Nate Diaz, and we will just watch him go fight these fun fights against young guys, or like, you know, an old
dude, he'll go
vet.
fight Jake Paul.
He'll probably go fight. He'll probably go fight Tony Ferguson next. Honestly, if he loses, because somehow him and Tony Ferguson will probably go duke it out. Yeah. And so I truly believe, and I do love Colby, and this is a bet with my heart. This is nothing else to do with it, but I truly believe that he is going to come in so overly motivated and just so locked in that I think Leon is just not going to be ready for it. I know that might sound almost just insane. We're talking about a guy who's beat Usman, who Colby Covington couldn't beat. Yeah. But I just think that's how it's going to go. Leon's going to come in. I think he is going to start off flat too. Like, I kind of agree with that. Like, I think he's going to come out. He's going to come out a little flat, try to kind of feel out Colby, see what Colby's going to do. I'm not saying Leon's a pussy, but Leon's a fucking pussy.
Well, I just don't think that Colby's a better fighter than Leon. So if they both show up and you know, really just get after it, I really hope it's a clean fight, because, you know, Jai made a great point with Leon doing what he does sometimes with the points and all that kind of stuff. I hope we get a clean. I hope we get a clean fight. Yeah, and if we do, I think the better fighter wins, and I do think it's Leon. I just simply do. I mean, Colby's long break. It's tough to come back. We've seen guys come back before. Just aren't the same, man. And so for me to sit here and act like Colby's going to be his old self, like he was fighting against Kamara almost 2 years ago, it's not. It's just not the same thing. So, and then Leon, obviously at the top of his game right now. You expect Colby to come in there and just beat the shit out of him?
I don't think he's at the peak. I think Leon hit his peak, and now Leon's going down, right? And when Leon loses on Saturday, he'll come back, fight one more time, and then he'll retire after that. He will. He will. He'll be done.
Stop it.
Leon Edwards will never be a champion again. Bro. After this weekend, Leon Edwards will never be a UFC champion ever again. Go with Bellator or whatever if you really want to. But I don't think this guy even wants to fight anymore.
I'm not saying he's going to be – I mean, if he loses, I don't know if he can be champ again. But I can tell you, if he fought Colby twice, he's winning one of the fights.
He won't fight Colby twice. When Colby beats him, there will be no rematch. That's 100% fact.
Jive, what do you think about
that? I mean, I actually think if Colby wins, he should want a rematch, because
if Colby dominates, if Colby dominates, is there a rematch?
There wouldn't be. No. If Colby dominates, there wouldn't be a rematch. If it's close, then I think Colby would maybe even push for a rematch, because there's other guys in the welterweight division that are arguably better. Like Bilal Muhammad is not a fan favorite, but he is very good. Shavkat, like we talked about earlier, Shavkat is the guy that I don't think many people are going to want to fight. Like, he's not going to win the belt and be like, give me Shavkat next. Like, he's not going to do that.
Right.
I also don't know if the UFC looks at it like this, but I think they genuinely will be nervous, and they definitely want Colby to win.
They do,
but I don't think that they even want him in Bilal to fight, because of how every single time when they even bring up Muhammad at this point, all Colby does is call him a racist, you know, and that's literally all he says the whole time. So I genuinely think the UFC will be like, dude, we just can't have you calling this guy a racist all the fucking time, because we're trying to set this fucking fight up for you. Yeah. Also, real quick, what did Rudy say? I saw Rudy said something. You scroll up for a second, Bryce. I saw Rudy said it was his longer message. Go up just a little bit more. Right there. That up one more, just a little bit.
Leon.
That one right there. What's that say? So my theory on that fight is that whoever wins in the main event is going to get Masvidal. It comes out of retirement and fights. I don't think there's a chance that Masvidal's coming up, because Masvidal was actually dog shit. Like I cannot even believe that people thought Masvidal was a good UFC fight. Jorge Masvidal was dog shit. Like I cannot believe that people actually thought he was good because he beat Ben Askren, who, by the way, and I'm not even trying to make this a Ben Askren thing. Ben Askren was only even in that fight because he fought Robbie Lawler. I don't know if you remember that fight, and that was when I'm forgetting the ref's name. Most famous ref. I'm just blanking right now.
Herb Dean.
Herb Dean. Herb Dean was the ref of this match. And if you remember, Jive, Ben Askren picked up Lawler, slammed him on his head, and he was bleeding or whatever. And for some reason, he thought that Lawler was knocked out clean, and he called the fight over. And then Lawler was actually fine or whatever. And then he went on to go fight fucking Jorge Masvidal, and then all hell broke loose. But
all hell broke loose. He lost the fight in 4 seconds?
Yeah, all hell broke loose. I mean, it literally changed Jorge Masvidal forever.
It was like 4 seconds.
I don't think that Jorge Masvidal will even come out of retirement because he will just get knocked the fuck out by anybody. One more message I want to read real quick, and it was what did Kevin K say he was having for dinner? What the hell did that say? I saw Kevin K was trying to sneak his dinner. What do we got here? Cooking dinner, but I'm still here. Grilled ham and scalloped potatoes. Then a Bloody Mary. Yeah. Okay, quick question for everybody on the show right now. Do you like a Bloody Mary? Yes or no?
Not a Bloody Mary guy. No.
No, I'm not a drinker for one, but Bloody Mary sounds terrible.
Jesus Christ! And listen, I guess I respect the decision. But we're going.
But you drink, you drink espresso martinis and like the vodka lemonade shit, like the Tito's and all that. Like, I don't do it. Give me a beer. If I'm drinking, I want a beer. I don't want, like, I'm a beer guy. Like, I don't do fancy drinks. And you do fancy drinks.
I do fancy drinks. Yeah, I like fancy drinks. I like better drinks. I like good tasting drinks.
Yeah, no, I mean, if in my drinking days, I'm like, I want something pretty fancy. I don't want to
really
beers,
Damn.
Okay. You want a Bud Light? No. If I wanted to drink piss, I would just go piss in a cup and drink it. Instead, give me something that tastes good. Someone put a little sweat into.
Yeah, but then you gotta pay $12 for one drink. You gotta have 4 of them to get drunk. You're out $55 to drink. And
4 of them to get drunk. If I have 2 espresso martinis, I am buzzing. 3 of them, I'm fucking stumbling.
That's because you're a pussy.
That's because it's at least a shot and a half.
Common producer Bryce.
How many? Let me ask this question. How many shots till you're drunk? Of liquor.
Of what?
Of liquor. Vodka.
I don't know. 4, 5, 6? 6 probably?
5 shots of vodka.
5. You give me 5, I'm drunk. You give me 5, I'm drunk.
If you get 5, you're definitely drunk. If you get 5, you're definitely
I'll say
drunk.
this. 1, 2, and 3 are going down. I'm probably not thinking about it. And then you give me the 4 and 5, and I'm like, okay, sure.
3 at 3, you're walking to the bathroom and you take. We're like, whoa, and we're pointing it out.
Rudy's got 7 down here. I agree. Like, you're not. 7. It's not one of those situations.
If you're an alcoholic, Rudy, and that's fine. But if you say 7 shots of liquor to get drunk, you're an alcoholic. That's a fact. But it's fine. We don't hate
That's probably true. Yeah.
Probably alcoholic.
Absolutely. Jive, brother, I appreciate you coming on the show. I do want to run through real quick all of the props that you gave and just kind of the winners that you have before we get out of here. Let's start with the main card and the Gary Luque fight. You got Ian by, I believe it was submission. Am I right about that? Or Vincent by submission. Was that right?
Yeah. Well,
Ian by.
You could throw for the official play, I'd probably go Ian Gary by decision.
Wow.
Ian Gary by decision. Let me tell everybody what that is real quick. So winning methods, here we go. So Ian Gary by decision is plus 180 right now. Great value on that. And then we got the Ferguson Pimblett fight. Obviously, I think we're all taking Patty in this situation. And it's probably Patty by submission, right?
Patty by sub, yep.
Patty by sub is what again, Bryce? We talked about it earlier, plus 280. I think that was it. Patty by sub plus 225. That is on DraftKings.
Number 1. First fight you had Ian Gary by submission?
Decision.
By decision. Okay.
By decision.
We are spreading a lot of fake news right now.
No, we're not. We're just trying to cook a leg real quick. I want to give the fellas the prop
We're putting him in a tough situation
before we get on here.
First time on the show, and we're putting bets in his pocket.
No, never. I would never do that.
Bryce just did.
I need John back on the show, so it's not going to happen. I'm on my 5th beer, 6 shots of vodka in a bowl. I'm an alcoholic, and I'm not even drunk. I'm cooking fucking dinner. Kevin, what are you talking about?
Kevin's a bull guy.
I mean, what? Yeah, Kevin.
Now we're not going to turn this into a weed show. More of a point on myself. This is not. This is.
This
is not a weed show.
We're just wrapping this up.
We're just trying to end the show.
Can I just wrap this up, Kev? Jesus,
so far.
Man. I mean,
Kevin's always sending this show off the tracks.
Oh, well, he always does that. Shout out Patty by submission, and then we're taking Shavkat by
decision.
That's right, and that's probably, let's see what that is.
Plus 250.
Plus 240. Wow, do they really think that he submits him? That him to submit him is like plus 100. That's crazy. Carly. Okay, and then we're taking Pantoja money line, right? It was minus 175. So that sounds like a good one for Bryce to throw in there. And then, I mean, me and Jive, Leon Edwards money line. Leon Edwards money line. Just wrap it onto a bow. It's like I'm wrapping a present. Christmas is coming. I wrapped it, the bow on top. Boop, Leon Edwards. That's bang.
Hey, a perfect night for you is plus 8,000 on FanDuel.
Plus 8,000 is a perfect night from our guy Jive.
That's a perfect night.
That would be electricity. Oh my God.
Thank you, Kevin.
I'm gonna throw it in as soon as I get off here.
Throw it in, dude. Hell yeah.
See you at the cash counter.
Oh, that's exactly where we'll see you. And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, on the Locks live stream episode 28. We appreciate everybody for joining us today, and in the comment section. Well, not everybody. You don't appreciate everybody.
Well,
I do. I appreciate everybody.
Kevin, I appreciate Carly. Sure. I appreciate West by God. Appreciate Rudy. And I appreciate Drowsy.
Sure. And I out of everybody, appreciate Jive. Jive, we appreciate you so much coming on the show, my man. This was awesome. We really hope that after we bang this plus 8,000 this weekend, we're going to need you to come back on the show. So we will do that. I know we got some big cards coming up. UFC 300 is going to be one of the biggest cards of all time. So we will definitely have you on again soon, and we appreciate you coming on.
And 305 when it's in Miami, and we get to see Kobe fight again to defend his belt.
Well, 299's in Miami. But
yeah, but that's too early. That's too soon. You're trying to put my guy. We can't
do.
We just talked about quick turnaround times with champs. Look at you.
It's true.
You're trying to put my guy in a fight in a fucking month, basically.
He's gonna lose, and then he's got to.
He ain't gonna lose. Also, real quick, Jai, before we forget, what are all your socials so everybody knows where to go find you
at HayJivePicks on all the socials. On Instagram. So sweet. If you want to jump on there, that's where I post most of my stuff. So.
Sweet, man. Everybody go follow Jive. Locks live stream in the book. That's Gutsypickscash.
Wait, can I call time?
Sure.
You're just a UFC guy, so I'm gonna ask on the way out the door. Do you have a top WWE guy?
Dude.
Only one. Only one. That's it.
If you're over the age of 12, you shouldn't be watching WWE. That's my
now this is all Pandora's
this is where I would be in the same boat. I would be in the same boat because after I turned about 11, I stopped doing it. So, I watched John Cena a couple of times and I was just done. I was done.
I probably ripped it till I was about, I don't know, maybe 16 years old. All I'm going to say is.
You still rip it.
What do you mean? You mean I still rip it?
You still rip WWE. John, if I walk down, it's Monday Night Raw's on TV.
Oh, dude, the worst part of it all is that people call it pro wrestling. Like, this isn't pro wrestling. This is like some stage stuff. This is like
we finally brought a guy on the show that knows the stuff.
It's got a storyline, but it ain't fake. It's a storyline. But let me give you a tombstone pile driver and see how you like it. That's what I say. Let me flip you upside down and fucking let me put you in a fucking.
You're gonna RKO me? Sure.
It's the next realm.
I would expect nothing less from a guy that's gonna pick Kobe Covington.
Okay, and that's fine. And the last thing I'd say, I want to end the show. We need this show to end. We do. But the last thing I have to say is, and I'm not even like trying to defend myself. It's just I don't watch the WWE anymore. But I do. The one night when we turned on Raw was because Raw was happening in Nashville, and Randy Orton, a legend from our childhood, was making his return in over 2 years. So yeah, I decided, hey, let me watch Randy Orton fucking RKO some motherfuckers into the shadow realm like I used to do when I was a young kid. The last thing I'll say about it, though, this is the last thing I'm saying about it. Every year, though, I don't miss, and I mean this, I don't miss WrestleMania. I watch it every year.
See, dude, I paid for WrestleMania like twice in my life, and then that was it. And again, probably just like Josh said, I was 10 and 11, and I love John Cena, and then I paid for it, and I was done. And that's the end of the story for my career of WWE, and that's also the end of the show. I am Lloydslocks. You guys go follow me everywhere. That's Gutsypickscash, Common Dubs, always from producer Bryce Finding Camera, and that's our guy HayJives. Lloydslocks Live episode 28, I believe, is in the books. We'll see you guys.